What up, peeps? It's your girl, Dash. Come back to your own takes. Well, it's that time of you guys. It's movie review time, and this is for Halloween Kills, of course, starring Jamie Lee Curtis. Now, I want to state, of course, I did see it over a week ago and didn't have a chance to get to it to do a review, but better late than never. Plus, I really wanted to get into a discussion about this one. Now, before I really get into it, I want to just know, I'm just gonna just talk about it. So, pretty much spoiler review. It has been over a week, so truly won't be hopefully affecting anybody's thoughts about it. I mean, honestly, on social media, people have already kind of put their feelings out there, as they say, 2 cent. So I'm gonna go ahead and put mine out as well. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, again, I did enjoy Halloween. It came out in 2018. I was really looking forward to seeing how they were going to continue the actual story. You saw the way it ended, where pretty much Laurie and her daughter set up the scenario, her and Karen, basically to trap him. And I was here for it. I remember in the audience, we were really happy, like, okay, it could be in, but we knew there was no way because we knew there was more, films in store. So how are they going to, do this, and how is it going to continue, the story for Halloween Kills, of course, and then ending to Halloween Ends. Needless to say, if you all saw the trailer, you saw what happened. Firefighters on their way to the home, and she's, of course, saying in the back of, the ambulance, please just let it burn. Hence, where you see him, of course, one of the firemen falls through the house due to the debris from the heat and probably the smoke and all that. And that's when Michael is able to, find a way out. And definitely it's a nice little bloodbath on front of the lawn of the home. From there, I will say, maybe just overall, I did enjoy the film. I did enjoy the fact that we get to see some previous characters like Kyle Richards, who played Lindsay. We got to see what is her Marion, who was played by Nancy Stevens, and then I know Lonnie, played by, I want to say, Robert Longstreet. Now those familiar faces, just to see that they paid a little homage to some of the original characters from the 1978. So that was really good. Now, needless, I will say. Also, there was one other character which is played by Anthony Michael Hall, Tommy Doyle. Now, definitely with him, I want to feel like we see a scene where they're kind of like in, I want to say, like a little bar place with and all that, and just kind of, discussing, the situation, and, with Michael Myers. We already know that, he, of course, as they stated out there, whichever, and him kind of just getting some people, within the bar, whatever, kind of riled up, and him wanting to, deal with him, whatever he's been dealt with. Of course, once they saw in the news, a situation happened, over in Haddonfield. And of course, Lindsay kind of getting freaked out, whichever. And then them deciding, we need to deal with this, whatever. No, this instance tonight, as they stated. And all the while, things start, of course, happening, definitely with Michael Myers, out and about and just wreaking havoc. I will say, seeing Lindsay played by Kyle Richards. I like how, definitely forced, because of course she was so young back then, kind of, getting on some kids, getting them out, whatever, getting them safe. And her, basically her and Marion, being intertwined with two other, characters in a vehicle, and in dealing with him, and it was so unfortunate Marion's character, didn't get to survive, but Lindsay's did. I was wondering if that character, all of them, would, get a demise in this particular one. I know you definitely see, Kyle, heading, and that was very interesting to me that she wasn't, found or caught, from that aspect. Lonnie's character, definitely Marion's character as well. But I will say this one thing I did find very interesting, that's never happened in any of the films in regards to Michael Myers, is them strategically placing dead bodies. Now, I know when we saw the trailer, not putting it all together and all at that moment, thinking the kills could have happened, specifically in that spot, but knowing that certain, individuals who were killed one place was positioned somewhere else. Michael doesn't be moving no bodies. He just kills and he goes about his business to whoever else is next, on his list. So that was very interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Now, I will say also, Tommy Doyle's character, at times I could see, of course, him feeling is getting people riled up, getting the people of the town of, Haddonfield kind of all, encompassed to deal with Michael, and out there trying to find, him. One thing I didn't particularly like is, like, we have two people who were from, like, on a bus, whatever, from the mental hospital, whatever, who would, or I don't know, bus van, I'm trying to remember. And they just assumed when one guy who was still probably in, the garb, whatever, and all that, was supposedly Michael Myers, come to find out definitely was not him. And you see the character, Karen played with Judy Greer, kind of stating, I'm trying to help him. She, tries to protect him, locks him in into a particular part of the hospital and all that, because he's trying, to avoid them, because they think he is Michael Myers. And they don't know what his face looks like. He's always wearing a mask. So in the end, I can understand that. But the fact that, Tommy played a part in getting these people riled up to the point where they want to kill this person who they're not sure. And even Tommy, in the instance, knew that he was not the one. So when this man has to literally self-inflict harmed himself to kill himself because he doesn't want the wrath of the town, it was just like, like, what have you done? Like, I know you want to get Michael Myers, but that wasn't the way. And that was just like a little bit extra on that instance with that. Um, there was one, scene, but in regards to pertaining to flashbacks that I really actually enjoy, because one thing with these films is only so much you can do. Yeah, you can, keep telling the overall original story, and then you throw in the little kills and all that, but when you have a little bit more to add on to a story, I think it's actually sometimes can be good. I know some people might not enjoy this, but one of the characters played by Will Patton, which was Officer Hawkins, we get flashbacks, and I will say this, I always enjoy some of those where it showcases the situation with Michael Myers early on, back around the 1978 film with Donald Pleasance, where you see a situation where Michael kind of is surrounded, and there was a situation where he could have been truly dealt with, and dealing with the traumatic experience of certain things that happened in that. It was also an unfortunate, accident with one of the authorities where they end up getting shot, whatever, and this copping having to deal with that whole traumatic situation. And on top of that, like I stated, being able to have dealt with him. He could have been dealt with in it, but again, like we say, you got to go along with the story because it, keeps it going, and we wouldn't have all the other films that we got, being the first one, second one, and of course many more that came after this for the franchise. So in that instance, okay, fine, it is what it is. But he is true. He is right. It was just like, yeah, he felt, as he said it to Laurie when they were both in the hospital, I feel responsible because this all could have been handled. This all could have been dealt with if I just did it. He stopped. The situation from happening where he could have been, his demise could have been long gone, just long. So I actually particularly like that. You can almost say, the traumatic experience of remembering, those, episodes, kind of like a PTSD type of, feeling at that moment. But just overall with the story, Laurie Strode definitely wasn't really, instrumental with a lot of stuff going, being that she was pretty much in the hospital the whole time. You're dealing with Karen, her daughter, then you're dealing with Karen's daughter, can't remember her name at the moment, all they're going like, we're going to find him, we're going to end up with this, whatever. And then you see eventually the confrontation where, the daughter ends up, getting herself hurt, gets her boyfriend, he ends up getting killed. You see a lot of the different kills, with the a man and a woman, in a house, whatever. I would say this is a sister, not to say she, wasn't traumatized with what she was seeing, but the fact that she was still there was like, okay, really? But it is what it is. Big John, Little John, living in the home. I'm telling you, I give it to them for them, standing up for themselves in their home, whichever. But it's him. It's Myers. Like, you really thought you were going to go toe to toe with him, but okay, it's all good. But I did enjoy those two characters. They were hilarious, and I just like how they weren't no pushovers for these little brats who invading their home, and then telling the story about the girl who's brother killed her upstairs, and how that was just, I really enjoyed that. Needless to say, also with the confrontation with Tommy and some of the people of the town, whatever, and all, like getting into a situation after Karen lures him out without his mask, whatever. And I will say, I love how you get a little bit of a glare, not all of his face, because of course we had what is it, Courtney and Castle playing Michael Myers in this. And I like how you don't get to see all of his face, but you get to see just a little bit of it to see. Definitely he's been hurt. Definitely probably his face got burned, whatever, not from the way it was showcasing it. So yes, they've never ever shown his full face, ever. Even in the Halloween, it came out 2018, whatever, and all you just saw, was always a figure from the side or the back, and then eventually when he put on his mask when he was at the gas station or whatever. But needless to say, that was a good fight sequence. I will say this, but it didn't last long. You see how he was positioning on that ground and he just waited, whatever, and all that. And that daggone, cop's going to lean in and that gave him this opportunity to slash him. And what was funny to me, and I have to say it was because it was quite comical, all the, ranting and raving Tommy Doyle did when all these people around him were getting killed and stepping up. He's just standing like he was just in distraught or just like literally some sort of shock, or he couldn't move. And then he eventually, tries to do something with the bat, but then it was too late. Michael Myers, he handled it. It's like, you done. And will say I was really sad to see the situation with Karen, after, she goes back into the house and she's looking, you see, hearing, and seeing visuals of, certain things. And Michael just dealt with her too. Now, mind you, her mother, of course, like I said, still at the hospital. She never ever really left. So the way they showcase it from the trailer, she truly is, like she's walking out, like, this is whatever. I don't know, she senses something might have happened, whatever, and all that, but they never really kind of showed that part at the ending in this film. So we definitely gonna have to see the conclusion to this, the way they left it, from the ending on Halloween Kills. I'm ready for Halloween Ends. I want to see truly how it's going to end. He had some extra strength, dealing with all these people like that, because I'll be honest, we've never seen, that I recall seeing Michael have to fend off and fight off and kill all these people and somewhat simultaneously, whatever, with their group around people around him. So it's always one on one, and it's always, of course, him on upper hand, because everybody, when they see him, they're kind of taken aback, whatever, and he always ends up getting, that grip on them to do whatever. But in this one, he really was to task, so I really want to see how she supposedly is going to be able to deal with him, in whichever. But you definitely know it's going to happen now, because once she knows her daughter, is dead, and her granddaughter could have, been killed as well and is badly injured. It's going to be very interesting. But overall, I really did enjoy this film. So, and out of a 10, I'll give it about an 8. I really did enjoy it. So I'm really, again, looking forward to what's considered, I think, want to say the final, chapter to this franchise, and just see what they're going to bring to the table. And want to see, Jamie Lee Curtis, go out, swinging. So with that said, you guys, comment below. Let me know what you think. With that said, I'll see you guys in the next movie review. You guys take care.